Oh, hello. Welcome into my workshop and welcome to the show Creations in Clay. My name is Louis Palladini, and tonight I'd like to do another one of my favorites. Instead of a dinosaur tonight, we're going to be doing a saber-toothed tiger. And what I always loved about this is that, he has the large canine teeth in the front. And they're very powerfully built cats. I'll show you the types of clay that we can use. There's an oil-based clay such as this, which never hardens. And this is the one I used to use all the time when I was a kid. Use it over and over again. You can make all kinds of animals, and then you can crush them and then make something else. Another type of clay that you can use is this air hardening clay here, which hardens in a couple of hours or overnight. And you can buy this in any art store. And what's great about it is once it hardens, you can paint it. My preference for the clay is a clay called Super Sculpey, which you can bake in the oven at about 275 degrees for about 15 or 20 minutes. You can drill it, sand it, you can make a tremendous amount of detail. I'll show you the size balls of clay that we'll be using tonight. The body will be made up with this size ball right here. And then these four smaller balls that you see here, these are the two rear legs. These are going to be the two front legs. And then we have a couple of, what I did is I attached these. There's a couple of little balls here. I'll show you this is going to be the teeth on the saber-toothed tiger. And then the ears are going to be these two small balls here. So you can see those. The first thing that I want to make is I want to do the body. So I'll show you. What we want to do is make this piece right here, the body with the tail. And I'll show you how to shape that. We're going to take this ball here, and now I'm just going to squeeze it. Think of shaping it into like the shape of a log. That's the best way to describe it. So we just kind of work it like this, and then you push and pull. See how we're kind of pulling it now? And you want to make that into so like to squeeze it, lengthen it out, just like that. And see how it's starting to take shape? You just keep pulling on it like that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to compare it to my previous model here, and I want to see if it's about roughly the same size. So we got this here. It's approximately the right size. I'm just going to pull it out a little more here. This is going to be the neck area right here. And then they had a very small tail. So what we do is you pinch the clay like this towards the end. And just keep pinching it like this. See, I'm pulling it out. And I almost think of like a bobcat. It's a little bigger tail than a bobcat would have, but it's similar. So, see that? We already have the tail. Now what I want to do is I want to get the head. So what I want to do is take this ball here and connect it to the head like this. So kind of work them together. Want to make sure that they do that. Just like that. So now what we're going to do is, now that we've worked these together, we can start to shape the head of the saber-toothed tiger. See this? Like the eyes, the nose, and the mouth. What we're going to do is I'll show you how to shape that head, and so we can make it look just like that. I'm going to take this, squeeze this a little bit. See, I'm squeezing that. And just like that. We want to do that. And then I kind of want to make an indentation for the eyes. See, I'm doing that? And I'll do that on the other side. See how we just did that? You just kind of push in a little bit with your fingers, and you make that And then what we want to do is I'm going to get a toothpick, and I want to separate the jaws, make the lower jaw and the upper jaw. So I'm going to take this toothpick here, see this? And just kind of push it in like this. And then we'll push it in on the other side, and this will separate it. Just like that. See how we're doing that? And then I'll work this a little bit more. And then what I want to do is, they had like some fur underneath the jaw like this. So I'll show you, just see how we're pulling that down a little bit. Just like that. And I'll pull this out a little bit more. Just like that. See how we're doing that? Pull that down. And just like that. And that's going to be, see how that's going to be the front nose area there. So what we'll do is I want to add the ears. So what I'm going to do is take this, and I'll show you these two balls of clay. See the ears right here? The shape that we have right here? It's almost triangular in shape. So we'll make those two ears, and I'll show you how to do that. We're going to take these now, and I'm going to take and I'm going to lengthen them out. And this is, and you see it, the shape that we're making there? That'll be the shape of the ear. I want to kind of flatten it on this side. So I use my finger. See that shape? That's the shape that we want for the ear. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take, and I'm going to take the toothpick and make an indentation in the ear like this. See that? Just like that. See what I just did? And we're going to do the same thing for the other one. So we're going to take this, lengthen it out, make that shape again. See how I'm doing that? I know it's small, but just I'll show you. See how I'm pulling that out and lengthening it? And then the other side, we'll flatten it out. You tap it a little bit like that. And I want to make sure these are approximately the same size, which they almost are. I just need to flatten this out a little bit more. And then we're going to take the toothpick and go just like that. And just make that. So now what I want to do is I want to take these ears now and I want to place them on the saber-toothed tiger. So I want to put them up here. See that? How I just attached them? Just like that. And then we're going to do the same on the other side. Just attach it like that. And you see it kind of working in with your fingers a little bit? Just like that. And then what I want to do for the eyes, we're going to use the additive technique. I got some extra clay here. And I'm going to take a little bit of clay off here. And I'll show you. We're going to make the brow. So, see this here? That little piece there? We want that shape. And I'm going to place that right about here for the eye. See, I'm just working that in. And then I'll take the toothpick and kind of work that like that also. And we're going to take and do the same thing on the other side. So I'm going to take this. I'm going to make that brow again. See that, how we're doing that? And I will take, and I will put that right about here. See how I'm putting that right there? And you kind of take and just work it in. Want to see that I'm looking at it from the front because I want to make sure that it looks good. Just like that. don't worry about the proportions. You can always improve on those over time, but I just want you to get the basic technique or idea. And I'm going to take my toothpick now, and I'm going to take and make the eye here like this. See how I'm doing that? And just kind of work that back and forth. And then we'll do the same on the other side. I want to take that and work that on the other side, like that, see? You can start to see everything starting to take shape. Then the next thing I want to do is I want to do the nose. So I'm going to take a little piece of clay like this, about that size. Then we take and almost make it a triangular type shape like this. See how that triangular shape? Looks like an upside down triangle. We're going to take now and work that in the front here. I'm going to put that right there. And just kind of work that in like that. And then what we want to do is take our toothpick and kind of go like this. See that? And then we're going to do the same on the other side. And I'm going to just kind of work it a little bit like that. You almost think of like an upside down T. See how I just did that nose? And I'm just going to fix the eye. It looks like that I touched it here and I closed it up accidentally. But what's great about the clay is you can just go back and rework it. Don't worry if you make a little mistake on it. You just go back and you can fix it. See how easily we fixed that? So the next thing that I want to do is I want to build up around the jaw. So I'm going to take some clay here and attach it right here. See that? I'm going to build up, because the fur is a little bushier there. So that's why we're doing this. We're adding this. And then I'll add it on the other side. Take a little piece of clay off here. And then I can work it in over here like this. See how we're adding that? Using the additive technique. Because I want to make the fur there. So I'm going to add a little more just to make it a little bushier. So see how we're doing that? And I'm just working that in like that. And that's looking good so far. So the next thing that we want to do is I want to make the small teeth. There's a couple of small teeth right here, and then you have the large saber teeth up above. We're going to do the smaller ones first, and I'll show you how to do that. We're going to take a small piece of clay like this. It's going to be very, very small, like that. You just kind of roll it between your fingers like this to make a point. And then what you do, see how I made that? And then what we're going to do is we're going to place that in the mouth. So I'm going to take, with my fingers, see how and we're going to place that right there. And what we can do is, that sometimes happens, you can drop it, but it didn't damage anything. So I'm going to take and work that tooth in with the toothpick. I'm going to do that. Now we're going to get another small tooth and work it in. And I'll get that piece of clay here. And then I'm going to put it in the mouth. Right here. See the tooth? How it's in there now? See how we put that in? You can see from the front. And now what I want to do is I want to make the large canine teeth. And what we do is think of an upside down ice cream cone, roll it between your fingers like this, see this? And you want to make that point. See how it looks like? This would be the top of the ice cream cone, that'd be the bottom. You curve it a little bit. And we're going to make two of those. So I'm going to take and just work this. You make it into like, spin it in your fingers like that between your finger and your thumb. And then make a point. And what we're going to do is we're going to take this now and place it right here on the upper jaw. Right there. See that? You can see that from the side. And then we'll do the same for the other side. I'm going to put this right here. And we can just kind of work it in. And what I want to do is use the toothpick to kind of make it stick. So I'll go do both sides. So see that? It's pretty cool with those teeth. And now the next thing that we want to do is we want to make the legs. So what I'm going to do is take, and we'll make the front legs. So we can take these, roll them on the table a little bit, and I'll show you the shape. I'm going to do that, and then we're going to do the other one. Just like that. We'll just roll it. Think of a log. Now what they're going to look like is these are the two front legs. See this shape right here for this leg? You can have like the shoulder, then the leg, then the paw. And then we're going to do the same on the other side. The shoulder and the leg and then the paw like that. So what we're going to do is I'll just keep working this. And then at the bottom, see the bottom here? I'm kind of pulling that out a little bit, like that. Making just like that. So I want to see if it's roughly the same size as my model. Yes, it is. See that? And I will make the other leg, do the exact same thing. We're good. Pull that out. See, I'm pulling that out for the paw. And then just kind of lengthen it out like this. See, I'm working it between my fingers. And now what we're going to do is we're going to attach these to the front. So I'm going to take this leg right here. See that? And work it in like this. Just like that. And then from underneath, we're going to take the toothpick and just kind of work this so see the clay? I'm pushing that up against the leg to make sure it's attached from underneath. And then we'll proceed to do the other side. And this is, you just kind of attach it like that. This, you can see the shoulder muscles. Just like that. So it looks pretty good so far. See how we got the two legs? Now we're going to do the back legs. They're going to be a little different. We're going to take, and we can roll these. They're going to have a slight bend in them. See the leg here, how it's got the bend? And it's almost got like a point in the back here. That's what we want to do. We want to create the legs to look like that. So we take, and instead of rolling on the tail, I'm just going to pull it because it's easy enough to do that. See how I'm doing that? And like I said, you want that little point back there. That's actually like one of the bones. And then we want to make the foot. I'm pulling that out, the paw. See how I'm doing that? Pull that out a little bit. And then we'll make the other one. And I'll just, see how you just take and work it between your fingers. And you pull it out. And you want to put that little twist in it again. Just like that. See how I'm doing that? It's got that nice little bend. And you want to make that little point here. That's where like there's a bone that sticks out there. We're going to make the foot, pull it out a little bit. And I want to make sure these are approximately the same size, which they are. And now we're going to place this on the tiger. So now I'm going to take this and place it on the tiger right about here. See how we're doing that? Take and work that in like that. See how you get the nice big shoulder muscles here? It's just a simple way of doing it. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip them over and I'm going to work the clay in here. See this here? We're going to take the toothpick, just kind of push it up against the leg so we know it's attached. And then we'll proceed to do the other leg. So what I'm going to do is attach that like this on the other side. Just take that, push it in, just like that. And I'm going to set him down on the table. I want to see if I can get him to stand up. So what we want to do is we want to make him look like he's walking. So I want to pull this leg back a little bit. This is going to go forward a little bit there. And then on these here, I'm going to pull these apart a little bit. See how I'm taking these legs and pulling them apart a little bit? So, and that looks like he's doing pretty good. So then the next thing that I want to do is I want to make the paws. And I'll show you. See these paws here? I got the little lines or indentations. We're going to proceed to make those little indentations. So I'm going to take the toothpick and we go 1, 2, 3. See how that was done? Very simple. We'll do it over here. 1, 2, 3. And then we'll do the back. Let me make sure we get a good view. 1, 2, 3. And then we'll do the other one right here. 1, 2, 3. See how that looks? So now he's starting to look pretty good now. So now what we want to do is we want to start making some of the fur. This area here in the face, I want to rough this up a little more. The fur is a little thicker and heavier here. So we're going to rough that up good. Take the toothpick and go like that. Rough that up. Like that. Just like that. See that? And then we're going to proceed to do the other side. We'll do the same thing. Just take that toothpick like that and rough that up like that. Just like that. And then what we're going to proceed to do is, in order to fire this, I'm going to poke some holes in it on the bottom. So I'm going to poke like, this allows the gases to escape from the clay so it won't crack when I'm baking it in the oven. So, and then what we want to proceed to do is make fur all around the body. So in the face, we're going to take shorter, smaller strokes here. Do that. Nice, short, small strokes. And then on the jaw here, we're going to rough this up a little bit. The fur is going to be a little thicker. See how this, I'm roughing this up here? Just like that. We want to make that fur is a little thicker down there. And then what we want to do is, and then you take smaller strokes for the rest of the face here. And just go all the way around like that. The top of the nose, just take very small little strokes like that. And we're just going to go all the way around. Do the top of the head in the same way, small strokes. And we'll proceed to go around the entire tiger in that manner. So we'll take, see I'm making the strokes like this? We'll do that around the entire tiger in that manner. The body, you do like that, the underneath. And we'll proceed to do that around the entire tiger. And once that is done, it'll be ready to bake in the oven. And now that we've fired the saber-toothed tiger in the oven and it's hard, we can now apply the paints. I will show you the types of paints we use. These are acrylic paints. There's 18 in this package, which can be bought in any art store. And we're going to use the following colors. There is, we're going to use black for the eyes, white for the teeth. We're going to use this tan color for the body, and we're going to use red for the mouth. I just want to look at it and make sure I got all the colors that I need. Yes, and that will do it. I'll show you how to paint it, but I want to show you the paintbrushes that we'll use. I'll take this paintbrush here, and this is the size that I will use for the eyes. It's got a pretty fine point. Then for the body, we will use this size here. And then for the other items like the nose, I have a small brush here. We'll use that for like the nose. And then I need to do one for the mouth too. So what I'll do is I'll get a small one for the mouth, because for the red, I'll use this color here, or this size brush here. And that's what we'll do to start. If we need another brush, I can always add it in a minute. The first thing that I want to do is I'll paint the black. And we'll paint the eye. So I'm going to pick this up. And see this one? I'm going to just dab in the eye like this. And we're going to do this eye too. And don't worry if you get a little paint around the edges there. You can always dab on the tan paint and kind of cover up those areas. And then, you know, I might as well do the nose with this one too. See this? I was going to use a different paintbrush, but now that we have this right here, I want to use this right here. I want to paint that. See how nice that looks when you add the nice black paint? Beautiful job on the nose. So now what we want to do is we want to do the red in the mouth. So I'll use one of these smaller brushes here that I just taken out. We'll get the red paint, and we will paint the red mouth. So what I want to do, you just kind of have to be careful, is I'm going to go in from the side, like this. And then I'll go in from the other side and do the same thing. And then what we can try to do is I'll try to get the underside here. So you can kind of see how I got the mouth in there? You can see the red? You just have to be careful, because the teeth are in here too, so we're going to have to paint those white, and then the saber teeth are right here. That looks pretty good, and I'll show you how we'll do the saber teeth. And then we'll do this. See this one, a paint right here, just like that. And then we'll try to do it from both sides. And then I'll get it from the back here. See, I'm kind of going from the back. So that way you get around the entire tooth. And then we'll proceed to do the other one in the same manner. So you dab, do this side. Then you want to kind of get the front right here. And then you want to get the side. And then you want to get the back. See how I did that? So you get all, and then you want to do those other two little teeth that are in there, right? See these right here? You know, don't worry if you get a little bit on the red that you just painted. You can always touch it up. Because it's very intricate, so I'm going to get the tooth from this side, and then I'm going to try to get it from behind. See how we did that? And the next step that we will do is we want to paint the tan color on the body. I'll show you how to do that. When you're doing the face area, just dab it ever so slightly. See this? And you might want to get a smaller brush too. That would make sense. See how they're going to just dab in this ever so slightly? The smaller brush will help you to get close without going over the work that you've already done. So see this? I'm just going to go back and forth. You're going to paint see this? I just dab. And then we're going to go back and forth like that. See how I'm doing that? Back and forth. And then you want to do this area here in the front. And then you want to get the underside. So you'll paint all around the head in that manner. And then you want to paint the legs that way. See how we're doing that? Go back and forth, back and forth. And paint the toes. And then you even want to paint the underside. See how you go back and forth like that? And then you'll paint the inside of the legs here. See how we're doing that? I would recommend doing the inside of the legs first, and then the underside, and then doing the top part of the saber-toothed tiger. See how we're doing that? And we're painting the inside of the legs here, just like that. And then I would flip it here. See how we're going back and forth here? Just like that. And then I'll show you painting the legs. And then you want to paint the body. Back and forth like that. Back and forth. And you'll paint the entire body in that manner. I'll show you what the final version of the saber-toothed tiger should look like when you're finished painting. See this here? We got the red in the mouth. You got the white saber teeth and the two bottom teeth that are in white. You got the black eyes and the black nose. And then you get the nice tan color here for the entire saber-toothed tiger. See how we did that? I'll show you from the other side. And see how I did the underside? So if you'll paint the entire saber-toothed tiger in that manner, and that's what the finished product will look like. I do want to thank you for coming to Creations in Clay tonight, and I do look forward to seeing you again next week. Goodbye for now.